Assassination of Rahman Ghassemlou, 1989. In the heart of Vienna, Austria, during what was supposed to be a moment of hope and dialogue, a deadly betrayal unfolded. Rahman Ghassemlou, the charismatic and highly respected leader of the Democratic Party of Iranian Kurdistan, PDKI, had come to the city seeking peace. His mission was to negotiate a political settlement with the Iranian regime, one that could bring an end to the long-standing oppression of the Kurdish people. But what was meant to be a step toward peace turned into a bloody trap. On July 13, 1989, Ghassemlou and two of his aides were brutally assassinated in an operation that bore all the hallmarks of a meticulously planned mission by the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC. Ghassemlou was a towering figure in the Kurdish struggle for autonomy. A scholar, a diplomat, and a revolutionary, he had devoted his life to securing the rights of Kurds in Iran. Fluent in multiple languages and armed with a vision for a democratic and pluralistic Iran, he had become the face of the Kurdish movement. But his growing influence made him a prime target for the Iranian regime, which viewed his leadership as a direct threat to its authority. The events leading up to Ghassemlou's assassination were shrouded in deceit. Ghassemlou had been lured to Vienna under the pretense of peace negotiations with Iranian officials. The Iranian government, seeking to neutralize the Kurdish resistance, offered the illusion of dialogue as bait. Ghassemlou, ever the optimist, believed that a negotiated settlement could bring an end to the bloodshed. He agreed to the talks, hoping that diplomacy could succeed where violence had failed. But the Iranians had no intention of negotiating in good faith. The so-called peace talks were a carefully orchestrated trap designed to eliminate Ghassemlou and cripple the Kurdish movement. The meetings took place in a modest apartment in Vienna, a seemingly neutral setting that masked the deadly intent of those who had invited him. On that fateful day, as Ghassemlou and his aides sat down for what they believed would be a constructive dialogue, gunfire erupted. The assassins did not spare anyone. Ghassemlou and his aides, Fadil Rasoul and Abdullah Gaderi Azar, were mercilessly gunned down. The apartment became a killing ground, and the assassins, having completed their mission, vanished into the shadows. But while the perpetrators disappeared, the evidence they left behind pointed directly to Tehran. Ballistic analysis and intelligence gathered after the attack led investigators to conclude that the operation was carried out by agents with direct ties to the Iranian regime, most likely under the supervision of the IRGC. The Austrian authorities, despite mounting evidence, faced immense diplomatic pressure. Iran, leveraging its influence and playing the game of international diplomacy, managed to shield its operatives from prosecution. The assassins, identified and detained shortly after the murders, were inexplicably allowed to leave Austria under the guise of diplomatic immunity. They boarded a flight back to Tehran, escaping justice and sending a chilling message to dissidents around the world. Iran's enemies would not be safe anywhere. The assassination of Rahman Ghassemlou was not just a murder. It was a calculated political assassination designed to decapitate the Kurdish movement. The IRGC and the Ministry of Intelligence and Security, MOIS, had perfected the art of eliminating high-profile opponents abroad, and Ghassemlou's killing was part of a broader campaign to silence dissent. The operation was a message to all Iranian dissidents. No matter where you are, the regime's reach extends across borders. The aftermath of the assassination sent shockwaves through the Kurdish community and the Iranian opposition. Ghassemlou had been a beacon of hope, and his death was a devastating blow to the Kurdish cause. His assassination also underscored the brutality of the Iranian regime and its willingness to resort to extrajudicial killings to maintain its grip on power. The Iranian government denied any involvement, but the trail of evidence pointed unequivocally to Tehran. For the Kurdish people, Ghassemlou's death was more than a loss of a leader. It was the loss of a vision for a peaceful and democratic future. But the Iranian regime's victory was short-lived. Ghassemlou's assassination only strengthened the resolve of the Kurdish resistance. His death galvanized a new generation of activists and fighters who vowed to continue his mission. The spirit of Ghassemlou, his dream of a free and democratic Iran where all ethnic groups could coexist, lived on in the hearts of his followers. In the years that followed, the Kurdish movement carried Ghassemlou's legacy forward. His vision of peace through dialogue and resistance against oppression became a rallying cry for Kurds in Iran and beyond. The assassination may have claimed his life, but it could not extinguish the flame of his ideals. The assassination of Abdul Rahman Ghassemlou remains one of the most egregious examples of Iran's state-sponsored terrorism. It highlighted the lengths to which the Iranian regime was willing to go to eliminate its opponents, and showcased the IRGC's ability to operate with impunity on foreign soil. But more importantly, it served as a stark reminder that the fight for justice and freedom is often fraught with peril. Even today, the memory of Abdul Rahman Ghassemlou stands as a testament to the resilience of those who refuse to be silenced by tyranny. His life was a symbol of hope, and his death was a reminder that the struggle for freedom often comes at a heavy price. But as long as his dream lives on in the hearts of the Kurdish people, the legacy of Abdul Rahman Ghassemlou will never be forgotten.